Hi everyone, welcome to this Saturday's walk and talk. I'm here with my partner in crime, the one and only, get into the camera there, Robin. The one and only Robin Young, who's hiding behind me. I don't know why she's on.
Peekaboo.
There she is. We are in lovely Port Coquitlam. What's the name of this mountain?
Minnetonka Regional Park. This is High Knoll.
Tell them that. Where are we?
Minnetonka Regional Park, the High Knoll.
Okay, and have we found the turtle yet?
We have not found the
What is the
spotted
deal with
turtle.
it? Tell me the deal.
The painted turtle. You have to find it and then report it to the research people.
Okay, and what happens when we report it? Just so they can track it?
Yeah, just so they can put it in their notebook.
Okay, good
Very,
stuff.
very important.
And it's very fitting because Robin and I today, because she's made a cameo, are going to talk about free and structured play. Robin's going to talk about free play and I'm going to talk about structured play. Okay? Robin, you keep disappearing behind me.
I'm moving.
You gotta
up
stay
the little path.
on my shoulder and we might fall down the cliff.
Just once or twice.
Once or twice. But
Mostly
anyways, here's where we are. It's beautiful up here. Okay, so here we are in Port Coquitlam on the top of the something mountain. Mennonite Mountain? What is it called?
Minnetonka
Mountain. And we're here to
gotta
talk
learn
about
that one.
Minnetonka. We're here to talk about free and structured play and to find the spotted turtle.
The Western Painted Spotted
The
Turtle.
Western Painted Spotted Turtle. So free and structured play is super important, parents and teachers, because they help our kids develop. We gotta be careful because there's lots of rocks and roots here. Because they help our kids develop a lot of skills necessary to be successful in life. We're here today to talk about why we need to try our best to incorporate structured and free play in. So I'll start. That's okay with you, Robin?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So in regards to structured play, I think, and both of my kids were in swim club. They're both, one of them played volleyball, one played basketball. They also played other school sports. And parents, just so you know, there's a lot of structured play activities at school. So if you don't know where to find out, just call the school, talk to your local secretary, or call the principal, because principals love to be pestered. So in regards to structured play, it's super important because number one, it builds a discipline in your kids. There's nothing more difficult for a child and for a parent than having to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to a swim practice or a hockey practice because that's the only time the pool is available or the ice is available. You know, the other part of structured play that is fantastic is that it's typically something that's very organized. And when it's organized, your kids have to fit into that organizational model, which means they have to be punctual. They have to be on time. They have to think about their teammates. And if they don't, and they're late for practices or whatnot, it can affect everybody. So they're learning that not only personal awareness in terms of having to wake up and get ready for practices, but they're also learning social awareness and knowing that their actions can affect other people. Now, the other piece to structured and team play that I find exceptional is your kids learn how to win and they learn how to lose and they learn how to persevere, because if they don't, it's going to be very difficult for them to get better personally and for their team to get better. Right. So the point is that, you know, when you're in structured play, it teaches your kids about setting goals and trying to meet those goals and get better and better at whatever they're participating in. And it's very important for our kids to learn about goal setting and to persevere and to try to get better at something and to deal with challenge and struggle. The other piece that I like about structured play is the teamwork. Your kids have to work with other kids. The other piece that I find really important with structured play is dealing with adversity, dealing with loss, and dealing with how much it hurts when things don't go right. You know, and being able to manage your emotions so that you don't get angry with your teammates or your coach or the referees. And if you do get angry with them, having 2 kids, because both of my kids have been angry with their coaches and the referees and whatnot, is guiding them through that with that co-regulation piece and teaching them how to be socially aware and how to critically think so they can communicate better in regards to how to handle tough situations in sport. And ultimately, there is so much to learn through structured play that it's something that kids should be involved in. And I'm not just talking volleyball or basketball or swimming. I'm talking about Girl Guides or other clubs. The point being is that there's a lot of things that our kids can do that will keep them engaged, keep them working with other kids, working with adults, having to adjust to different adults' rules, robotics, coding, but being organized and punctual and realizing that you can't be selfish, because when you do play a team sport, people depend on you. And the other thing that I find the best, I would say this is the best part of structured sports, and I used to tell parents this all the time, especially when your kids become teenagers, is that when they play structured sports and they go to tournaments, guess what? They're with an adult and they're not at a party. They're with other kids who are just as determined. And although when I was in high school, I might have did some bad things at tournaments, but our kids won't do that. Once your kids participate in structured sports, to sum up, they become more organized, punctual, less self-absorbed, better teammates. They learn how to goal set.
A safer environment.
And they're also in a safer environment, which I like the best, knowing that my 17-year-old daughter is at tournaments instead of doing the wrong thing in the community, right? So, on that note, I'm going to pass this over to this lady who's hiding behind me here. She's going to talk about free play and why it's important to child development. There's no buttons to push or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, free play. What is it? Free play is spontaneous, and this part is actually really important. It is led by the child and not interfered with by an adult. So that could be something as simple as climbing, running, jumping. It could also be more complicated. Maybe they're building with some Magna-Tiles. Maybe they're doing some Lego.
Crossword puzzle.
Crossword puzzle, you think?
Maybe.
Maybe if it says like the Golden Girls. But whatever you might like, free play is spontaneous and not led by the adult. It is led by the child. And the beautiful part about free play that is different from structured play is because the adult is not interfering, the child needs to use a lot of their social skills and develop their social skills as they play. We all know that when kids start to play, they start to fight, and free play gives them a great opportunity to work through their fights and to be able to develop some type of conflict resolution. Although it may be a little bit limited, it is the start of them being able to solve their own problems, and that actually happens during free play.
What about breathing?
Oh,
how does that help?
How does breathing help free play?
How does breathing come into free play?
That's a really good.
Let's ask these guys. You guys want to be on a YouTube video? Okay.
Do you know how breathing might help free play?
I don't.
When kids are playing, and they get into a conflict, how can breathing help them?
It forces them to pause and slow down.
Get this guy on camera.
Yeah.
What does it do? What does it do?
Forces them to pause and slow down and actually think before they blurt out what's the first thing in their head.
That is right.
It took me 30 years to learn that.
Well,
So-
yeah,
Start
it does
somewhere.
take time,
I
right?
do, yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and now you guys are free playing. Did you know that?
Yes.
Trying to.
Hiking counts.
And now you're
Does
going to be
it?
famous.
Well, okay.
Okay. Social, emotionally intelligent masters. Yeah.
Enjoy your hike. Oh yeah, or if they
Right.
get into a conflict, you'd hope that they would stop, pause, take a big deep breath, maybe get some help if they need it, if they can't solve it
Like some
themselves.
bumblebee breathing.
Yeah. Oh, I can never do that one. I'm trying to
It hurt your lips.
I'm trying to, I think, do the, what's, I keep forgetting his name, Chewbacca. That's got to be a breathing strategy. Okay, so we love free play for also a few other reasons. We have creativity, flexibility. Do you have another one?
Critical thinking.
Oh, and critical thinking.
Think about when it just rains and there's like a big stream of water and kids build dams or they send boats down them, you know, and they're with a buddy and they're communicating how they're going to dam the creek to make a lake.
Yeah, my kids the other day were actually doing something called pretend car wash, where they didn't have any water at all because it hadn't been raining. So they pretended to wash all the vehicles with air. Again,
that's creativity.
Creativity, we're solving a problem. They actually were communicating when they were working with their friends together. It was a group of them, so 6 of them trying to create this car wash. So they come up with all types of different ways to solve the problems that matter to them in the world. And then they are flexible about the ways that they solve them, oftentimes making adults laugh at the ways that they solve the problems that we perhaps would have maybe had an efficient, logical answer to. The children sometimes dive into creativity and surprise us with their beautiful brilliance when they're having lots of play and being able to be free about it without the constraints of an adult coming in with their narrative of what they should be doing.
All of which is developing emotional intelligence. All of that. You know, the one thing about free play that's different than structured play, because in structured play, there's more co-regulation going on between coach and athlete. In free play, there's not a lot of co-regulation, but hopefully their buddies will help co-regulate and help them self-regulate and self-soothe if things get a little haywire emotionally and they start having those big emotions.
Yeah, I find with the little ones, they may not be able to co-regulate, but what they do notice is when escalation starts to happen, they're usually pretty good at identifying that area and noticing that maybe they don't have the skill set yet to be able to work through it, but they know if it continues down that road, it's not going to be good for anybody.
Exactly.
So why do we participate in free play? Why would you free play?
Because it's fun, first and foremost. And that's the best part about free play and structured play. It's typically fun. You know, structured play is a little more competitive and more organized, but free play is so great. I mean, who doesn't remember climbing trees or building ramps for your bike or jumping off a swing? And
I still remember trying to climb a fence over my friend's house, and I couldn't get up there, but I did pee my pants.
So there you go. You can pee your pants when you do free play. Which then again is more learning because you got to figure out what to do with peed pants. Right?
It's time to go home.
Anyways, so hold that up there because I think we've kind of hit it enough here that we've talked about structured and free play. Essentially, everybody, teachers, parents, structured and free play is about developing emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence revolves around personal awareness, social awareness, developing that empathy, that kindness, those critical thinking skills, those creative thinking skills, and communication. I think the biggest part about free play, which teachers you'll see at recess, this is why recesses and lunch hours are so important in kids playing in the cul-de-sac, is because they're communicating and they got to figure it out. They got to figure out other people, they got to figure out themselves, and they have to work with other people's emotions and their own. And same thing in structured play. The difference in structured play is it's just a little more intense because it's like school. Anyways, to make a long story short, this has been a beautiful hike here in Port Coquitlam. What's the name of the mountain?
Menacata.
Menacata Mountain. It's been a beautiful hike. If we find the turtle, we will videotape it so everybody can see the turtle. We did see a little mouse that let us pet it.
And a frog.
And a frog, which are both going to get eaten by the heron.
We did see a baby bear on the way
here. We did see a baby bear too, which is very cool. But this is a great hike. Anyways, this was this Saturday's walk and talk with my
sweaty friend.
My sweaty partner in crime. Hopefully we'll do another one of these at some point. In September. Maybe September? Yes, in September sometime. But again, thanks for having us and peace out.